Okay, hello there. Back once again. We are in Nico's apartment where we left it last time. Before I go, I just want to show her what we found in Ireland and have another little gander at the manuscript just in case there's anything we need to look at. First of all, let's show her a pocket full of powder.
Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk like little boys.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
That's true. That's a very good maxim for George to have. I mean, he's still carrying the bastard sewer key around, which was last embedded in the wall of the castle at Loch Marn, so I don't know how he got that back, but there we are. What else was it? The gem, of course.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
Bloody hell. What are you doing, lover? That's not the spirit of investigation. Not good enough. Okay, let's have a little gander at the old manuscript.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Indeed. Got a couple of new ones there.
That's the gem that Pegram found in Loch Marn.
Ah, okay. It's just stating what they are.
That's the tripod in the Crune Museum.
Rightio. That's the next port of call will be the museum, I suppose. Right, that's that. Let's get out of here.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobinor at the Crune Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Okie dokie. Right. First port of call, I believe, should be Rosso. We'll go there. We haven't been to the police station for a while. Just have a little chat with this lady.
Oh, hi.
Hello, my handsome friend.
Let's show her some of our new clobber.
Does this powder mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
What do you make of this gem?
Very nice, chérie. A present for your girlfriend?
She's not my girlfriend.
Nonsense. You and her were made for each other.
Well, there we are. Okay, there we are.
See you later.
That's right, monsieur.
You will. Right, let's go to the police station. I'm interested as to why Nico suggested we go there. Okay. Here we are.
Excuse me.
What do you want now?
Charming. See, it's not really worth talking to him about these things, but I'll do it anyway.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
Old news,
I
mate.
see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Okay, they know of these
What are you
fellas.
going to do about Flap and Guido, Sergeant?
I'm going to bust them, monsieur. For years I have been hoping to pin something on that pair. Now's my chance. I'll show them. And the inspector.
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks for taking me seriously.
I'm only doing my duty, monsieur.
See, that's interesting. I mean, I suppose it would make sense logically to go to the police station after we were accosted by those Italian gangsters. However, the prevailing storyline makes us pursue other things, doesn't it? So you wouldn't need to come here. But it's nice they've put that bit of story in anyway.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic in the Avenue des Hérissons.
That's why we have to come here.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Check out my gem.
Maybe not.
Fair enough.
Maybe not.
Indeed, on both counts.
Is Rosso here?
Yes, he is. You wish to speak to him?
May as well.
Yes, I do.
One moment, monsieur. It's Stobbart, monsieur. He insists on talking to you again.
Thank you, Moo.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the information we need, but may as well speak to him as well.
What now, monsieur?
Do you know a pair of thugs called Flap and Guido?
I have known those two since they graduated from special school. Flap is a nasty piece of work, but Guido is the real brains of the partnership. Where did you hear of them?
I met them out front of the Hotel Ubu.
I suppose if you were stuck earlier, you would naturally come here for more information.
Have you heard of Professor Pegram, the archaeologist?
Molly
Yes.
Pegram, the second son of Lord Barclay Pegram.
I don't know. I only read about him in a magazine.
So much for the efficacy of rehabilitation. What has he done this time?
He made an important archaeological find in Ireland. Do you know Pegram well?
I have connections with the family, but I
Oh,
wouldn't
right.
say I knew him at all.
Is his name really Molly?
Of course not. That was the nickname he was given at school. All his friends and acquaintances know him as Molly.
Molly.
Ever heard of a guy called Marquet? Jacques Marquet?
Marquet. I know the name well. He has a record for suspected blackmail, kidnapping, arson, and art theft.
An all-rounder, huh? How come he's on the loose?
His bravado is matched only by the courtroom skills of his attorney.
Right, we'll leave it there. I'll try this, but
What do you make of this, Inspector?
okay.
Astounding. Where did you come by a stone like that?
I was given it by a man in a bar in Ireland. Do you recognize the gem?
It is unfamiliar to me. If such a jewel had been stolen, I would know it for sure.
Check out my pocket of powder.
What do you make of this white powder, Rosso?
It is plaster.
Say, you're good.
Didn't even sniff it or lick it.
So long, Inspector.
Okay, I'm going to try an experiment now. So, as we can see, we've got Moo there. So what I'm going to do, if we can, is go back to the cafe where it all began, because he's guarding that, so there's no way he can get there before we do. The probe won't let us go there. But you never know. I like to test the boundaries of these things. That's not the one, is it? Or is it? I can't remember. Crikey. Is this a new place? No, it isn't. Right. Let's see what happens. Bear with me, viewers, if you're viewing. This is a pointless errand, but... Well, I'll be darned. Now that is attention to detail. Lovely. Look at that. They boarded the whole thing up. But they haven't... There's nothing for us to look at, which is a shame. The blown out storefront, I can't do his voice, was boarded up. No way in. That was naff. Okay, right. We could talk to Matey, but pointless, I would say. Tell you what, let's try it. This is obscure coming back here, so be interesting to see if there's any voice responses to the items we've got recently. There he is. Yeah, right in front of you.
Hello again.
Yes, Inspector.
Right.
What does this powder mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
It's just going to be,
Does this gem mean anything to you?
no.
Ah, is it real? It must be worth a small fortune.
A very large fortune, I'd say. Do you know anything about it?
No, monsieur.
Okay. A little bit of
I
extra
have to be
dialogue.
going.
Good luck, Inspector. I hope you catch that killer soon.
Right. Off to the museum. Hopefully this time we'll catch Lobino. Crune. Aha.
He was a thin-faced, pallid guy with a questionable taste in outlandish clothes. My mother used to dress like that. I beg your pardon. Are you Andre Lobino?
That's me. You want my autograph?
No. I was told you may be able to help me.
Help?
My name is Dr Stobbart. I'd like your professional opinion.
Well, okay. Shoot.
That's the hanging man we saw.
I'd like your opinion on a medieval manuscript.
Vraiment? Do you have it with you?
No, it's too fragile. And besides, there are certain people who'd stop at nothing to get their hands on it.
Intriguing. Do you have a copy of the text?
There isn't much, only a few Latin phrases. I was kind of hoping you'd help decipher the pictures.
Without seeing the manuscript, that's a tall order.
Just tell me one thing. What does the image of two men riding on the same horse suggest to you?
The Knights Templar. Does the Templar seal appear on this manuscript? I'd love to see that for myself.
Can you tell me anything about the Knights Templar?
I sure can, Georgie. Soldiers, diplomats, mercenaries, monks, bankers, you name it, the Templars fit the bill. The greatest fighting force in Christendom, the militia of Christ.
Jeez. How did the Templars get their name?
From the building in which they set up their headquarters. The King of Jerusalem gave them part of a mosque on the Temple Mount. It was said to have been the site of the original Temple of Solomon. The order became known first as the Knights of the Temple, and later as the Knights Templar.
You're a mine of information, Andre.
Glad to be of help, Georgie.
How come the Templars became so wealthy?
There was a constant stream of new recruits to their ranks, many from noble families. They were required to swear a sacred oath of poverty, chastity, and obedience. So, their money, goods, and lands were donated to the order. The Templars soon held land in France, Scotland, England, Spain, most of Europe, in fact. The poor Knights of Christ became the wealthiest power in Christendom.
He knows a lot.
Is it true the treasure of the Knights Templar was never found?
Who knows? So little knowledge of what really happened remains. Or if it does, the truth has never been made public.
What do you mean by that?
The Templars have attained mythological status, like the King Arthur of the Britons. There are people even now who say the Templars still exist.
Do you think that's likely?
No, not for a minute.
The manuscript is being looked after by a friend.
In Paris?
Yeah, not far from here, in fact.
Well, just give me the address and I'll come round and take a look.
I'm not so sure about that. Maybe I should check with her first.
A female friend?
Yeah, she's a woman. Maybe it was my imagination, but I noticed a predatory look in his eye. Suddenly, this friendly historian had turned into the big bad wolf. This friend who has the manuscript,
Oui, the anonymous girlfriend.
she lives at 361 Rue
Just
Jarry.
came out with it.
Ah, I know it well. I'll drop by. Just as soon as I can.
Oh, just as soon as I can.
Does the name Montfaucon mean anything to you?
Sure, it was the most grisly spectacle in Paris until the Revolution.
A public toilet?
Montfaucon was the place of execution for many thousands. A dark temple of death, with row upon row of arches, each one framing a grim exhibit. Scores of rotting corpses swung on creaking rope, while the crows devoured their flesh.
That explains the image of the hanged man. I found a reference to Montfaucon in Ireland, in a village called Lochmarn.
Lochmarn, that's where Pegram was digging.
That's right. He'd left the excavation before I arrived. Do you know Pegram well?
Not really. I met him at a conference. I would have liked to talk to him in depth, but I didn't have time.
When was this?
Oh, back in the summer, July, I think.
The second week of July?
Maybe. Yes, it was, just before Bastille Day.
So Pegram was in Paris at the same time as the other victims.
Pardon? Victims of what?
Nothing. Just thinking aloud.
Murder, Lobinel. Murder.
Where was the site of Montfaucon?
To the northeast, near the Canal Saint-Martin, but there's nothing there now. The old gibbet was torn down during the Revolution.
Okay, might have another place to visit now, including the hospital where Marquet is. Let's show him. Let's shake his hand.
I'd like to shake you by the hand, Andre.
Not now, Georgie.
Damn. Oh, rats.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Nothing.
Do you recognize this white powder, Andre?
No.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
Alamut is the name of the place where the Hashashin were based.
Where is it?
Somewhere in what used to be called Persia. I'm not too hot on modern geography, I'm afraid. The most recent map I have shows America as an English colony.
What do you make of this tool?
Interesting. Where did you get it?
From a dig in Paris.
Vraiment? I didn't realize there were any excavations in progress in the city.
No, just the sewer.
What do you make of this ID card?
Nothing.
Good, short and sweet.
What do you make of this?
It's the biggest gemstone I've ever seen. Where did you get it?
From Professor Pegram's messenger boy.
Did Pegram find this on his dig?
Yeah, the site where this was found was a Templar castle. Do you think it could be part of the Templar treasure?
No, I shouldn't think so.
Did I show you this?
Yes, you...
Does the guy in this photograph look familiar to you?
No.
Take a look at this nose, Lobinot.
It really doesn't interest me, Georgie.
Okay. Right, we still have the
Thanks
same
for your help,
problem
Andre.
You're welcome.
in that we need to get this tripod. Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll just try to get in that mummy's case again. Gotta wait for him to turn his back. I don't think it's gonna be any different this time. Go on then, off you go.
The rod turned smoothly, and the window above me opened.
Quick, 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 quick.
This is ridiculous. I could be here
Nope.
for hours.
Okay, not yet. There is a time when we do this, but not yet, obviously. Right, let's go. So, now what? So it's the hospital next, I suppose. Let's look at Marquet. What else is there going on? Robin is going to take a look at the manuscript. So we got Montfaucon there now, and we've also got the hospital. Which do we do first? Goodness. I tell you what, let's go for the hospital. That's the first thing that came up.
The old building managed to retain some of its original grandeur, but the modern additions look like a baseball cap and a statue of a medieval saint.
Looks quite pleasant. What we got here? Anything? No, just... oh, hello.
There was no sign of the crew of the ambulance.
Let's get in it.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Let's use that on it. No. Okay, I don't think we're going to be able to get in there. Fine. Okay, new place. Lovely. This is a very pleasant looking hospital, I must say. Lots of plants. So I've got this chap. Let's have a look at him.
The young man's face was full of eagerness and enthusiasm. I figured he was fresh from college.
Repetition of fresh, but he doesn't vocalize it, so they didn't update that.
Hi, my name's Dr Stobbart.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Call me George if you like.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that's my name.
My name's Benoit, but everyone calls me Bunny.
Bunny?
That's right. I used to have this cute habit when I was a kid.
Keep it to yourself, Benoit.
The mind boggles.
Do you know anything about a patient named Marquet?
No, sir, I don't know much about any of the patients.
I've never met a doctor who admits that he's only human.
I'm only a trainee, sir. I'm sure I'll get the hang of things.
Okay.
Shake my hand, Benoit.
I don't think that's a good idea, sir.
How come?
Dermatitis.
I don't have dermatitis.
I do.
I do.
What does this tissue mean to you?
Is that a nasal discharge, sir?
No, it's grease paint. Do you know what this white powder is?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamet?
No, sir.
What does this tool suggest to you?
Isn't that used to snap the patient's ribs when exploring the abdomen?
I hope not. Have you ever heard of a guy named Merlin?
No, sir.
Have you ever heard of a guy...
No, sir.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
Not me, sir.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, monsieur. I've never seen him before.
Does this false nose mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
See you later.
Right.
Right.
The woman managed to look overworked and hassled, though she didn't appear to be doing anything. Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plans. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
She's American.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
You bet your ass I am.
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not. So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
Ah.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from a zoo.
I wonder if we were able to come here earlier than I am now.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a clown costume?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
Fair enough.
Can you think of any use for this greasy tissue?
I guess you could use it to baste a roast turkey.
Ugh.
I'd like to shake you by the hand.
Don't be fresh, young man.
This has suddenly become very loud dialogue.
Is this plaster any use to you?
I'm allergic to plaster.
Have you heard of the Club Alamet?
No. It sounds romantic, doesn't it? The kind of place where you get little umbrellas and whelks.
Huh? That's romantic? What does this tool suggest to you?
Is it a crack detector?
Huh?
Polar explorers use them to poke about in the snow.
No. Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
Oh my
For
goodness.
me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on ward B12, as I recall.
B12.
Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh dear. He's on ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
Oh my goodness.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything,
Okay.
I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result.
Oof.
Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
Oh, you mean she's been here a long time?
No, I mean there's not a man in this clinic who hasn't sprawled out on her.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J. How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Fair left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Sounds easy enough.
What does this gem suggest to you?
I advise you not to flash that around. The hospital insurance wouldn't cover it if it was stolen.
Have you seen this man here at the clinic?
No, sir. And I never forget a face.
Monsieur. It makes you wonder if that should have been a French accented actor, but...
What does this false nose
Stick an
remind you
American
of?
in
Oh, it's a clown's nose.
That's right.
Why don't you give me a break and go and play with someone else?
there. Indeed.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Alright, so we know the ward he's on. We've got this other chap here now.
The guy seemed to be practicing his air of authority. Today, he was working on his withering stare.
Looks quite jolly to me.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
Okay, nothing doing here, but
What do you
try.
make of this tissue, sir?
Interessant. I thought I knew the ins and outs of the human body, but this has me beat. If I were you, I'd have this sample analyzed.
It's grease paint.
May I have the honor of shaking you by the hand?
You may not. I don't encourage physical contact between my staff.
Fair enough.
Does this white powder mean anything to you?
No, sir. I do not pretend to know the pharmacist's job.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamat?
No, sir. I have not.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
Sacre bleu! That's exactly what I needed in my last operation.
It is?
I had to improvise with a knitting needle and a couple of corks. If only you'd been on hand at the time. My patient would have given his right arm for it.
Hell.
Does the name Thomas Merlin mean anything to you?
No, it does not.
Look at this, Doc. It's a genuine medieval type gemstone.
Yes, so I see. Remarkable.
Medieval type.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay.
Do you recognize this red nose, sir?
No, I do not. This is a hospital, not a circus ring. We minister to the sick in body, not the sick in mind.
Fine.
Thanks for your help.
Yes, swine. I'll just talk to him one more
Hey,
time.
Benoit.
He's got a bit more information now.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Aha.
Do you know the nurse on Ward J2?
No, monsieur. This is my first day here. I can't wait to get my hands dirty. I was talking about treating my first patient, of course. I didn't mean I'd get my hands dirty with a nurse.
Okay.
See you later.
Right.
It's become a carry-on film. Right. I guess we go looking down there. Come on then. Okay, hello there. I had to take a little break, have some lunch, but let's carry on. So in the background, you've probably been able to hear a kind of mechanical sound going on. I don't hear it here because I've got the volume turned down low so it doesn't interfere with the microphone, but yeah, there's something going on down here, I suppose.
As I
there it
turned
is.
the corner, I saw the source of the hellish noise which echoed through the corridors. It was an industrial polishing machine with an odd-looking guy in tow.
Charming. Okay, oh my god. There's various places to go here. Oh dear. I can see I'm going to get lost. Water cooler. That's his power supply there. Okay, let's get looking.
He looked blissfully happy, for no apparent reason.
He's probably enjoying himself.
Hello.
What's that?
I said hello.
Oh, hiya.
I'd like to talk to you for a minute.
That's what I thought you said. Don't look so down in the mouth. No matter how bad things seem, I never let life get on top of me.
Oh, yeah? What's your secret?
Why, it's easy. All you have to do is smile and whistle this little tune.
Bloody
You
hell.
know what? If you start whistling, I'll bust you in the teeth.
Crikey.
It's a deal.
It's got what accent's that? Northern English, I don't know.
Do you know where I'd find a patient called Marquet?
No, I'm not allowed on the wards with Mr. Shiny.
Brummy, innit? Brummy, maybe? Mr. Shiny.
Would Mr. Shiny be your polishing machine by any chance?
Please, don't call him that. He's more of a friend than a machine. I've had Mr. Shiny for 3 years and he's never let me down once.
Hope he doesn't shag it.
How come you got so attached to a polishing machine?
I asked you not to call him that. He's got a name, you know.
Yeah, Mr. Shiny. It's just that...
You think it's odd, don't you?
No,
I don't mind. The rest of the staff think I'm twisted. I heard them snorking behind my back when I gave Mr. Shiny his weekly pull through.
Whatever you've got with this metal mop foot is probably a fine and noble thing.
It is? Say, it's not every day I meet someone as crazy as me.
At the end of his shift, he lies down and lets Mr. Shiny polish something else. Filthy.
Have you seen any unsavory characters lurking about in the quarters?
No, sir, I haven't. But I've got nothing to worry about. What's that, Mr. Shiny? You'd take good care of the rascals, I'll bet you would. With a friend like him, I've no fear of oppressors.
It must be a great comfort.
He is.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a nurse called Grendel?
Sure I do.
Is she on duty today?
Yeah. End of the corridor, Ward J2.
End of the corridor. Down here. Doesn't appear to be any directions there. We came from around here, didn't we? Anyway, let's do our usual.
What does this tissue suggest to you?
You have a cold. What you need is vitamin C and a side order of machine oil.
This man is bonkers.
Would you like to shake my hand?
Not until I'm washed, if you don't mind, sir. You can pick up all kinds of things in a hospital.
Like nurses, right?
No, sir. Bugs and germs. And fungal infections.
Do you recognize this powder?
Is that dandruff?
No way.
It sure looks like dandruff.
It's plaster.
Ugh.
Yeah, I got a whole packet of it.
Do you recognize this matchbook?
You should never ever play with matches.
I know that, but...
People get hurt when they do.
Sure.
They end up in hospital, like the burger lady. She was so burned up, they didn't know whether to use bandages or onions.
Alright.
Would this tool be any use to you?
No, sir. Mr. Shiny has no user serviceable parts. Whatever that means.
Do you recognize this pass?
No, I don't. Should I?
No, but I wondered if you'd seen a stranger flashing it about.
No, sir. But if I had, Mr. Shiny would take care of him.
What do you think of this, Sam?
Oh, boy. What is it?
A priceless gemstone found in a medieval castle in Ireland. Get me into Marquet's ward and it's yours.
I don't wear jewellery.
If this gem was yours, you'd be able to buy 100 Mr. Shinies.
Don't be silly. There's only one Mr. Shiny.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Who is it?
That's what I'm asking you. Have you seen him before?
How should I know? You haven't told me who he is.
Take a look at the photo.
Yeah, okay.
Now, have you seen him before?
No.
God.
Take a look at this red nose.
Are you a policeman?
No, this is a clown's nose, not a policeman's.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
See you later.
Yeah, take care now.
So we can go there. There. There, which I'm assuming just pops out there. We got this door.
The door didn't have a sign or label or any kind of identification.
Bet we can't open it.
Hey now, you can't go in there.
How come?
I'm responsible for the contents of that cupboard.
Right, we need to distract him.
It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern. To my mind, he looked just plain constipated. There was no way I could improve on the sculpture with the janitor watching me. I guess the water cooler was for the use of people lost in the corridors. Maybe the face of the unaccountably happy domestic had made me unduly suspicious. I mean, I knew it was only my imagination, but the water tasted, well, peculiar.
Okay. Anything we can use with the water? No. Okay, so...
The connector in the socket supplied electricity to the polishing machine.
Mr. Shiny. Get it right? Okay, so I'll tell you what, I'll just go in here just to see. I'm assuming it'll pop out the other way. Eventually. Yeah, okay. I just want to cover all my bases here. Well, first of all, I'll tell you what, let's try this. Get the... see if we can get in that room. Delayed reaction.
As I tugged the plug out of the socket, the polishing machine coughed, spluttered, and died.
After about 5 seconds.
Mr. Shiny, what's wrong, pal?
Quick. George, the hell are you doing? Quick. Aha.
Dr. Stobbart at your service.
Okay, we're a doctor now. I'll just talk to him again just to see.
I wasn't in the mood for shining floors.
Hello.
Oh, hi. No whistling, right?
I'm a doctor
Right.
now. Yeah, nothing there.
Nothing
Okay.
really.
Okay, so there's 2 different places we can go. I'm assuming that's probably where we came from, so I'll try this one. Although he did say at the end of the corridor. A few minutes later. Okay, right, not that way. So I'll try the next one down. Okay, not that way. Okay, going that way. Could talk to them as a doctor, I suppose, but... That's where we came from. Aha! Right, we can go there. Wasn't showing up earlier. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, there's the mean matron.
Good afternoon, Doctor.
Oh, hi. Is this Ward J2?
Yes, sir. The patients are ready for your inspection, Doctor.
Thank you, nurse. Well, who's first?
Monsieur Croquet in bed 2.
What's his problem?
He's been complaining of loss of consciousness. You'll need this, Doctor.
She gave me a long, narrow metal box and a stunning smile. Thanks.
George is a bit frisky in here.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Hello, Doctor.
The nurse told me you keep losing consciousness.
That's right. I've had the problem as long as I can remember. It's a real out-of-body experience. Like death, but not so conclusive.
I see. How long does it last?
Just a fraction of a second, and then I recover.
I might not have been a doctor, but I was formulating a diagnosis all the same. This guy was nuts. I know exactly what you mean. It's known in the medical field as blinking.
Is it serious?
Of course it isn't serious. It's perfectly natural.
But just think, 2 seconds every minute. Why, that's almost half an hour every day. 2 weeks out of every year spent in total darkness.
I don't have time to listen to this baloney.
That is the same voice actor as the Mr. Shiny lover, isn't it? He's probably suffering from something really serious.
Which bed is Marquet in?
Yeah, he's round the corner, in solitary.
What's the matter with him?
I don't know, but the men who brought him in were wearing masks and rubber gloves. Hey,
Hell.
You're a doctor. How come you don't know?
We doctors don't know everything.
Then how come you act like you do?
Has Marquet had any visitors?
Nah, neither have I. That's the worst thing about being in hospital. You feel like the rest of the world has abandoned you.
Well, you know how it is. Life goes on.
Thanks for those comforting words.
Right, I know what'll cure him.
I thought about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
Damn. Let's use this penis pump.
Do you know what this piece of equipment is called?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Have you any idea what this is?
Please, take it away before I throw up.
Do you know what this is?
Is it self-raising flour?
No. Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
Nah, I haven't.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
Eye surgery.
That's a dumb thing to say. It's not sharp enough. Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Nah, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer.
One of your colleagues?
No, he really is a murderer.
I've never seen him before.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Nah, I don't.
Rightio.
Well, goodbye and good luck.
Thanks, Doc.
The guy was sick. His face was the same shade of gray as the pillow beneath his head. I wondered whether I ought to call the nurse. Maybe check him out for breathing. Now, I was no doctor, but this guy looked dead to me.
Dr. Stobbart. Oh no. He hasn't got an answer for that. Okay, anything I can nick? Oh, these are their... I can look at that one.
The name on the chart was Boissy. The poor guy's temperature had been up and down like a white knuckle ride. No wonder he looked so sick.
Or dead. Okay, let's have a look at his.
According to the chart, this guy was called Croquet. The graph showed a steady decline in his pulse rate and an increase in his blood pressure. It kind of shook me to see this guy's life reduced to a few jagged lines.
And it seems to be quite a few English people in this French hospital.
The name on the chart was Sopmarsh.
Sopmarsh.
His temperature was normal, with little fluctuation either way.
Right, let's have a chat.
This guy didn't look sick to me. He didn't have spots or stitches, and he certainly didn't have a fever.
Hello? Anybody home?
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Stobbart, and I'm here to steer you down the rocky road to recovery.
Dr. Monroe said there was no cure for what I've got.
Your problem is you stayed in bed too long.
Are you sure you're a qualified doctor?
You better believe it.
What can you tell me about Marquet?
He's the man in the private room, isn't he? That room was mine before I was tossed out like a common squatter.
Do you know what's wrong with Marquet?
They won't even say what's wrong with me. Tell me, Doctor, what's your opinion?
It's too early to say.
But I've been here for 3 months.
Crikey.
What's your impression of Nurse Grendel?
She's a very efficient young woman.
Efficient? You make her sound like a vacuum cleaner.
I've no complaints.
The woman in reception described Nurse Grendel as a monster.
Well, that's simply not true. She's quite strict, but that's her job, isn't it? You've got to have discipline in a place like this.
True enough. Right, let's get him out
I
of
thought
bed.
about giving him an electric shock, but I just couldn't do that to a sick guy.
Damn, always thwarted.
Have you any idea what this is?
No, Doctor. I wouldn't even like to guess.
Right, let's get you
I'm
pumping.
going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job. I'm going to take your...
Why?
I'm a doctor. Do you know what this is?
It looks like plaster.
How did you know that?
I'm a plasterer.
Very posh sounding one.
Have you ever heard of the Club Alamut?
I'm not really a nightclub man, Doctor. A game of whist and a glass of ginger wine is about my limit.
Do you know what this tool is used for?
I'd rather not, Doctor. Ignorance is bliss, as they say.
As they say.
Have you heard of a guy called Merlin?
No, Doctor.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
No, Doctor. Is this some kind of test?
If it was, you would have failed. Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, Doctor. Who is it?
A cold-blooded killer.
Really? He's a dead ringer for my bank manager. Of course, Mr. Soames hasn't got a scar, and he doesn't come from the Middle East. His hair's a lot grayer, too. Otherwise, it's just like him.
Remarkable. Do you recognize this red nose?
Doesn't that belong to Boissy?
No. I found it in a sewer.
He's a clown, you know. You wouldn't think so to look at him now, would you?
Ooh.
See you later.
Okay, now we need some way of getting past here. I've got a feeling, if I remember rightly, that the nurse won't let us, or the matron.
Doctor!
What is it?
You haven't taken my blood pressure.
Ah. Well, you wouldn't let me. That's weird.
Seems fine to me.
You're not doing it right.
Of course I am.
No, you're not. Dr. Monroe never did it like that.
I can't take a satisfactory reading while you're excited like this. I'll come back later.
Maybe we can get over there. He's probably going to say it again, isn't he? Yep.
Oh, Doctor.
What now?
You didn't finish taking my blood pressure.
Hell. Right, got problems here.
Okay, let's try again.
Dodgy placement of his hand there.
You don't have the first idea what you're doing, do you?
I'll come back when you've recovered your manners.
Okay, I tell you what, let's have a chat with matron.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur?
Do you have a patient named Marquet on this ward?
Oui, monsieur. He is in the private room at the end of the ward. He has been placed in strict isolation.
Why is Marquet in quarantine?
If you wish to know more, you'll have to speak to Herr Hagenmeier. All I know is that Marquet's room is strictly out of bounds.
Do you know who paid for Marquet's room?
No, of course I don't.
Preferential treatment like that must cost an arm and a leg.
That's not my concern, monsieur.
Do you have any clowns on the ward?
Why, yes, we do. A professional clown.
I'll bet he lightens the place up.
Hardly. Monsieur Boissy has been in a coma for the last 3 months.
What's wrong with Boissy?
He was involved in a very nasty accident. A silly stunt involving a unicycle. His current condition is due to post-traumatic shock. It's unlikely he'll ever perform as a clown again.
It's an ill wind that blows nobody any good.
Right, it's my go-to.
Would you like to shake hands with me?
Well...
No, it's okay. Forget it. I didn't really want to use it on her anyway.
Speak for yourself.
Do you recognize this tissue?
No, I don't. It looks like a chronic health risk to me.
Well, I've been carrying it around for days and I'm okay. My pocket's getting a little soggy.
Ugh. Filth.
What is this device?
It's for taking the patient's blood pressure, doctor.
Alarm bells should be ringing in her head.
Is this plaster any use to you?
No, it isn't.
Does this mean anything to you?
The Club Alamut? I've never heard of it.
Does this tool mean anything to you?
I don't recognize it.
Short and
Do
sweet.
you know Merlin of Gruber Electronics?
No, I don't.
Does this gem mean anything to you?
It's beautiful, but I've never seen it before.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
No, I don't.
Do you recognize this red nose?
Oh dear. I don't think he'll be needing that again.
Who?
Monsieur Boissy, the comatose clown.
I wonder sometimes whether they're expecting you to click from left to right, but I always do it right to left because I always go for the shock thing.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir,
Interesting.
monsieur.
Au revoir. Okay, so we can't get past because he's always demanding his... Oh, hello. Ah.
The nurse was stunningly beautiful. The guys on this ward sure were lucky to be in her care.
George has got quite a boner at the moment. Okay, I'll try one more time, but this bloody... Yeah, there he goes.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Right, so how can we get around that? Other than going back and talking to another doctor.
Will you keep quiet? You're disturbing the other patients.
I'll keep quiet when you've taken my blood pressure properly.
I have to see Jacques Marquet first.
How come he gets preferential treatment? It's because he's got money, isn't it?
It's not like that. I'll come back when you've dealt with that chip on your shoulder.
George's bedside manner needs slightly more improvement. I'll tell you what, let's give him another one.
Hi, it's me again. I'm going to take your blood pressure.
Why?
I'm a doctor. It's my job.
And now he doesn't want it. Okay.
See you later.
So, I don't know what to do. Okay, I'll tell you what, let's talk to him again. Sometimes it's about covering all the bases.
Hello again.
Shit. Well, it's not that.
Well, goodbye and
Might
good
be
luck.
something to do with her
Thanks, Doc.
bimbling to and fro. Let's follow her in. Go on. No. Okay, right, one last try. If he bloody says that again, he's going to be in trouble. Oh, hell.
You haven't finished taking my blood pressure.
Right.
Will you keep quiet?
Right. I'm out of options here. I'll talk to her one last time. I don't mean this. Other than that.
Pardon me, nurse.
Oui, monsieur.
Yeah, bugger that.
Thank you, nurse.
Au revoir, monsieur.
Okay, let's get... I may cut this out if this is pointless, so don't worry. Let's give him some water. Don't drink it, George.
Maybe the face. I mean,
No. Tell you what, let's combine the pump. I mean the no. This is what happens. I start doing crazy shit.
there was no way I could improve on the sculpture with the janitor watching me.
So now, could we possibly do something to the sculpture? But what the hell would that do? I go back here. Let's have a chat with, well, everyone.
Hey,
Yay.
Benoit.
Benoit.
Yes, sir?
Hello.
What do you know about this piece of equipment?
It's a device for measuring blood pressure.
Mm-hmm.
See you later.
Right.
Maybe if I might tell me how to use it properly, perhaps.
Excuse me, sir.
You must be the new boy.
Yeah, I must be.
Well, stop wandering about and make yourself useful.
Ah.
Bernie, come here, boy. This is Benoit, my nephew. Can I trust you to look after him?
Do your own babysitting, Gramps. Who do you think you are, anyhow?
I am Felix Hagenmeyer.
And may I say what an honor it is to meet you in person, sir. You are on my medical wall of fame. Right up there with Pasteur and Leary. I look on it as a privilege, no, an honor, to look after your nephew, sir.
He is fresh out of medical school. It will open his eyes to see a real doctor on the job.
I'll bet.
Show him around. Let him see some real suffering.
Right. And by the way, how do you
Look
use
what
this?
Nurse Grendel gave me, sir.
Ah, yes, very good. I'm glad to see you are carrying it with you. It reassures the public to see the medical profession using traditional archaic tools.
Jolly good.
So long, Hagenmeyer.
Come on then, bunny. Aha. We're on the right track.
Could you take a look at the client in bed number 3 now? His name is Eric Sopmarsh.
What's his problem?
He's delirious. He just now came out of theater. He's recovering from major surgery.
I'll have him up and about before you can say, Lazarus, get out of your bed and walk. Hi, it's me again.
Yeah, we should have probably have had the nephew in tow earlier. I just got a bit lazy. Yeah, we've done all the talking we need to.
See you later.
Maybe we can ask him
Hey, Benoit.
to do it. And then whilst he's pumping him up, we can slip away.
There's no need to shout. What do you want?
Here, take this pressure gauge.
Yes.
Thank you, sir. What do you want me to do with it?
Well, keep it safe until I think of something. Are you ready with that pressure gauge?
Prime and ready to pump, sir.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want me to do with it?
Right, it's that one, isn't it?
Use it on Eric Sopmarsh.
Okay.
Use it on the nurse. Damn, I should have done that. Okay.
It was a life-sized marble figure of a guy in robes. The sculptor had tried to give him a look of paternal authority and concern.
Same
to my
as
mind,
everyone.
he looked just...
Yep. Okay.
He sat like a statue of a sack of potatoes, but the cop's eyes were as watchful as a hawk's.
Mm-hmm. No. Not yet.
I'm Dr. Stobbart.
Bonjour, docteur.
Have you heard of a guy called Marquet?
He's in quarantine, doc, right behind this here door.
Marquet is just the man I wanted to see.
I wouldn't go in there if I was you. He has anthrax.
Bloody hell.
I have to visit my patient.
What for?
Routine. I have to check he's still breathing.
What if he's not?
I'll sign the certificate and register his bed as vacant.
That's a cold and distant attitude to death.
Well, I've been institutionalized to the point of godlike aloofness.
The white coat suits you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Have you seen any suspicious characters on the ward?
Yeah, I have.
A gorilla and a weasel?
No, this was a tatty old bear.
How is the bear acting suspiciously?
Well, he was wearing a homburg.
Is that against the law?
No, but it's pretty weird for a bear.
Don't you think it's possible that the bear was a man in disguise?
Well, obviously, I'm not completely stupid. But who would go to the bother of disguising himself as a bear? It's not as if he'd blend in with the surroundings. I checked with base to see if any bears had been reported missing from the zoo or a traveling circus. They told me to sit tight until reinforcements arrive. I guess they're right. I'd be stupid to tackle a bear single-handed.
Okay, right. Before I try any of these things on him,
Catch you later, officer.
I want
Au
to...
revoir, Doc. If you see that bear, kick him in the nuts.
Yeah, I want to get Matey to try and
The young man's face was full.
take the
Hey, Benoit!
blood pressure of the nurse. It's
Yes,
begging
sir?
for it.
Do you still have that gauge I gave you?
Ah, yes. What do you want me to do with it?
Use it on Nurse Grendel.
Huh?
There
Go
you go.
on, she'll enjoy it.
Well, okay.
Dr. Stobbart,
Yeah?
I would appreciate it if you saved your jokes for the intern's restroom. This is a hospital ward, not a cabaret.
Oh, lighten up.
I heard that. Any more nonsense and I shall report you to Dr. Hagenmeyer.
Hell. Okay. I'm assuming we can't go back without him. Oh, we're okay now. Thank God. Okay, right, let's try and go in there.
Rather you than me, pal.
Huh. I forgot to talk to him about those other things. Bloody hell.
Marquet?
Yes, I am Marquet. I've been expecting you.
You have?
Well, what are you waiting for? Get it over with.
I just want to know what I should do with the gem.
The Lachmar gem.
Yeah, right here in my pocket.
I thought you were one of the assassins.
Hell.
Not me. I never inhaled.
So, you were sent in my place?
Yeah. You could hardly make the trip to Ireland in your condition. What should I do with the gem?
Deliver it to the Grand Master. Quickly tell him that I have found the tripod right here in Paris.
You have it?
Not yet, but it's being taken care of. I hired a couple of stooges with a flair for petty crime.
Would that be Flap and Guido by any chance?
You know them?
We've met. What about the Hashashin?
Is more likely to have followed Klausner. He'll stop at nothing to prevent the reforging of the sword.
And that's bad, is it?
As for Klausner, he is gone to Syria on a wild goose chase.
They have geese in Syria?
As a theory about the location of
That's enough excitement for one day, Monsieur Marquet. What are you doing here?
Talking to this patient, of course.
Monsieur Marquet is my patient. If I hadn't my office to hear that.
Okay, I'm going. I'd learned all I could from Marquet anyhow.
Oh, I've explored that one.
Ah, there you are, sir. I was just coming to look for you. I finished with your pressure gauge.
Oh, good.
Thanks, Bunny.
What's that noise? It sounds as if someone's having a cardiac arrest.
It's all right. The doctor's in there with him.
Are you sure he was a doctor?
Oui, monsieur. He showed me his ID. It was Dr. Braille.
There's no Dr. Braille working here.
He's an imposter! The door's locked. Help me, officer.
Uh-oh.
Stand back, monsieur.
Take your sweet time. Whew. Rats. I can remember that bit.
I found Jacques Marquet.
Did he talk?
Yeah, he talked. For the very last time.
He's dead.
Yeah, killed in cold blood by a bogus doctor.
That's despicable. What kind of guy would pass himself off as a doctor and take advantage of a dying man? Was it Khan?
No, I don't know who he was, but it certainly wasn't Khan. He got away, out the window.
Look at that one.
Have you ever heard of the Hashashin?
No.
Marquet said that they were his biggest enemy.
His biggest enemy was the bogus doctor.
Don't remind me. That guy was evil. He had wild, staring eyes like a dead fish. I'll never trust a doctor again. Do you think the assassin was responsible for killing Marquet?
I don't think so. He could have finished him off the first time. Besides, Marquet would have recognized him.
He was pumped to the gills with sedatives. He wouldn't have recognized the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse unless they'd introduced themselves. Have you found out any more about the Knights Templar?
Yes, I have. The guy responsible for their downfall was Philippe IV, the King of France, otherwise known as Philippe le Bel. Well, he is known to history as Philippe the Fair, but I doubt if the Templars called him that. I'm sure André will tell you all about him.
Philip de Belland.
Can you think of any use for this?
That's a thing for measuring blood pressure, isn't it? What are you doing with that?
I picked it up in the hospital. It could be useful.
You ought to take it back. Don't you feel guilty?
No.
Okay, let's have one last look at
Let's
this.
take another look at the manuscript.
I'm not quite sure where we'll go next. Well, there's that Mont. Yeah, nothing extra on there. Montfaucon. I can't remember what it's called now. Okay then, chaps. We'll leave it there. Yeah, not sure what we're going to be doing next, but there we are. We've made some more progress. Right, I'll see you next time. Cheerio. Thanks for watching.
I guess I'd better go back and talk to that weirdo.
Which one? Rousseau or Sergeant Mou? Oh, were you referring to Andre?
I'll let you work it out.
Let me tell me as well, because I don't know what you mean. Where are we going? Probably Andre. Maybe go back to the museum next time. Cheerio.